Ladies and gentlemen, it is day 2 of Max Out, the new season of Go Battle League here. Well, of Pokemon Go, I guess. But in Go Battle League, it's also the second day. So we're going to be going over another team. This is going to be from a Twitch streamer, Holesome underscore. A Texas native, just like myself. So he was using Shadow Kanto Marowak, which I guess is just Shadow Marowak, but I like to distinguish it from your other boy, the Alolan version. Yeah, so Mudslap obviously got a huge buff this season, and Bone Club also got a buff. So 2 buffs to Alolan Kanto Marowak. So definitely going to be wanting to check that out. We also have Gastrodon on the team, which also is another Mudslapper, and then in the lead is going to be Shadow Alolan Sandslash. So I want to get through the intro really fast here, just because there's going to be a lot of battles. He won a ton of games here on the first day, and I want to go through a lot of them, not all of them. Definitely check out his Twitch channel. It's in the description below. And yeah, let's go ahead and get in the video. At first, if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button. And if you have, or you think you have hit the subscribe button, go ahead and double check. Make sure you're subscribed, and let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So obviously, day 1 here for Wholesome. He ran into Absol here in the front. This is going to be a pretty easy one to get through. Obviously 1300 CP here. Obviously the battles get much more difficult as the day goes on. Just gonna be able to shield and power through this. Really, the power of Mudslap is that it has a ton of damage, right? So you can definitely get through, and now with the buff to it, you can actually get to these moves a lot faster. While we're here in the beginning battles, you can go ahead and look at the movesets here on the left side of the screen. Shadow Alolan Shadow Marowak, I'm going to get that right, I promise you, by the end of the video. Shadow Marowak definitely has a lot of coverage here with Bone Club and Rock Slide, really hitting a lot of the things that are really good against Mudslappers in general, which are going to be those flying types. Having a coverage move to hit those is definitely going to give you a bit of an edge. And then Gastrodon has access to Body Slam. While Body Slam was nerfed, it is still one of the faster moves to get to here. You could go, I think it has Water Pulse as well. That was Wholesome right there. It has Water Pulse as well, so you could go for that coverage move if you would like, or if you just want to go for that fast move, the fast charge move to get to in, what's it called, in Body Slam. And then Earth Power is a fantastic move. Obviously, you're going to have a bit more coverage when shields are down. You're going to be able to like one-shot something that usually Mudslap would be really good against, but let's say shields are down, you want to get it out of the way. You don't want to get hit by, let's say you're getting hit by Hydro Cannon. That would be pretty horrific. So opponent does switch into Clodsire. This team actually insanely good against Clodsire. So if you are noticing that #1 rank PV Pokemon of Clodsire is in a lot of your games, why not be triple strong to it? And yeah, this is the way to get there. The only thing about Alolan Sandslash in the front is that Earthquake will one-shot you, whereas you do not one-shot the Clodsire. But you have shields to work with, and you can win that matchup pretty easily. Now, opponent does come in with the Talonflame. Not going to be able to make it to that Rock Slide, which is going to be double super effective. So just throws any move that he can get off here. Could come in with either of these mod. Gastrodon technically resists these fire, these incinerates, but is going to take a lot of damage from like a Brave Bird. 2 flies probably going to be enough as well in the end. Ends up catching a fly here on Alolan Sandshrew, Sandslash. This is a lot of tough names for me to go with here. Ice Punch going to be enough to take out this Talonflame. Obviously, it is going to be a neutral move, considering it is super effective against the flying type and then resisted by the fire typing. Also, if you see a lot of Bastiodon, which I really don't think you're going to see much this season, this team also amazing for that. The only thing is you don't want to get stuck with a Grassmon in the back. We do get that drill run off. This Bastiodon ends up getting taken down a lot. Tropius, okay, it has access to Leaf Blade, which we're going to have to watch out for. It takes 4 air slashes for Tropius to get to Leaf Blade. A lot of times you usually see this running Razor Leaf, which is kind of an interesting to see it with just, I would say, the less tilting move set, which is just getting to your fast attacks faster with Air Slash. But it's still super effective against Marowak there, so going to get taken out. Going to have Sandslash here. Now, most likely, the thing in the back is going to be another Grassmon, usually Shadow. Oh my gosh, why am I not remembering? Victreebel. Shadow Victreebel is usually what's in the back here. So wanting to preserve this Sandslash is making a lot of sense. And yeah, they're going to end up forfeiting. So, all right, Dedenne. I guess if you run into Dedenne a lot, this is a really good team against that. Although I don't think Dedenne is really going to be having a ton of play. It is very good typing, but it has a few weird moves, let's say. They end up bringing in Toxapex. Now, the thing about Toxapex is, while it is water, which is going to be super effective against ground typing, it only has access to Brine, which is a very low damage move. So would have probably lived that Brine, but wanting to maybe preserve a little bit of health here, knows Dedenne's in the front. So going to be strong against that. Maybe whatever's going to be in the back is going to also be weak to ground. And if it is going to be weak to ground, even though Gastrodon's going to be good against it, you want that extremely good against Mon with Marowak. So probably, oh yeah, this is probably a discharge, right? Double resisted. Okay. Trainer's typings are not great, but ground typing going to be really good against this team in general. They probably, yeah. They're kind of weak to Clodsire. They're kind of weak to all the Mudslides. I mean, they're not even kind of weak. They're super weak to any of the ground types. So, yeah, you could let it go. You could shield this, whatever at this point. You'd probably Mud Slap down everything. I'm going to be saying, I think, Mud Shot a lot just because we used to have a lot of Mud Slappers. Mud Shotters in the meta, but now Mud Shot being nerfed and Mud Slap being buffed means that a lot more of them are going to be in the meta there. Let me just make sure my camera is in the right angle here. All right. Ooh, Lantern. Someone did not get the memo there, but we are going to run into the Talonflame here. Interesting to bring the Talonflame in here, considering that they already had seen the front. Yeah. All right. Altaria in the front, obviously. Sandslash really good against that, and the things in the back not very good against it. I think I would bring in the Kanto. Really? I actually think I would have brought in Marowak. Maybe it's just too frail that it's going to get hit by 2 of these and be really close to getting KO'd. But I would have thought the extra energy would have been enough for the Rock Slide to be good against the Talonflame as well. Basically throwing that extra energy into it. But looks like maybe it would have been tough either way. We go for the CMP here. Makes a lot of sense. Umbreon. Well, again, last video had Umbreon in it, obviously. Oh, this was not CMP. Okay. Umbreon is actually really good in this meta. Actually, something with Umbreon and Altaria could be something like DD or even another dark type. I really want to say Scrafty, but probably not Scrafty. Oh, it's probably Penjaro, is that the name of it? Oh, no, it's Toxapex. That's a weird one. All right, well, that's going to be pretty much GG. You could live a Brine here if you want to take it. And it probably is going to be fine. This game's pretty over at this point. Sandslash is going to be good against everything that's left. It's good against the Toxapex, obviously resisting the... it has a steel typing, so it's going to be double resistant, I think, to the poison jabs. And dealing double super effective with his fast attack, considering that we have Powder Snow. Do we have Powder Snow? Wait a minute. I'm only now realizing I think we might have Powder Snow, and then my graphic is wrong. We do have Powder Snow. Can I fix that? I'm going to check real quick while this battle is basically finishing. All right, what do we got here in the front? Malamar. Ooh, Malamar is so good. I guess it is kind of frail, and the problem is it does outpace you, so they end up coming in here with the Zoomerol. Zoomerol is going to be really good against this team in a general sense. I guess the best thing we can have against this is Alolan Sandslash, so it is good to get this out of the way now and hope that something like the Gastrodon can actually just control the back line. I forgot what I was doing. I was going to look up the... let me see, Sandslash. I did not have the Ice Punch, or the, I'm sorry, the Powder Snow variant. But just know on the left side over there, it's Powder Snow, not Shadow Claw. And I guess that's to really hit the flying types, considering flying is actually going to be really good against the ground typings in a general sense. So, They do come in Malamar. They could just be throwing Superpower, but more than likely this is a foul play. They don't want to get really thrown out of the house here, but they'll probably end up shielding here, and then we can end up going for a farm down if we want to, or we can switch and force them to throw energy, and then this is not going to KO us at any means, or by any means, so could shield, could not shield. I could see either way. Ends up going for the Superpower. They do almost the same amount of damage, to be honest. Interesting, they do have a grass type in the back, but it does have Fairy Wind, so not going to get hit. Going to get hit by the Seed Bomb basically, but at this rate, the Powder Snow fast attack is going to be very good against this team. The Malamar, does it have enough energy for another Superpower? I kind of doubt it. It already threw one Foul Play and a Superpower, but oh, it was actually just the Azumarill there in the back. Okay. Gonna let this go, obviously. Keep the shield for Stand Slash, Alolan Stand Slash, and then just farm down. If they throw a move, you just shield it. We have a shield already still. Alright, Mantine in the front. The worst this could do to us is something like Water Pulse, which is going to be neutral. Otherwise, we are resisting the flying attacks, and if they have Ice Beam, we double resist that, considering we have an Ice and Steel typing, which both resist Ice. Which is very good for us because, well, they end up having Water Pulse, but Ice really, I think, only resists Ice, so not the best defensive typing by a long shot, but yeah, they end up not having it anyways. I think most Mantines do run Water Pulse, especially in a like Clodsire / other Mud Slapper meta, or other ground typing, I guess, meta. You want to, well, Ice Beam is super effective against those as well. I'm not too sure. Water Pulse is just a better move in general in the neutral, but yeah, I'm trying to think of what else water would be good against that Ice is not good against in this meta. Can't really think about it. I feel like not a lot of fire. Maybe there is Talonflame, but you're so good against Talonflame anyways that doesn't really matter. This matchup really good. Surf got nerfed if you don't know that, so Lantern gonna take a little bit more energy to get to that Surf, but it's going to technically do a little bit more damage, I believe. But Lantern was kind of using that as a bait move, trying to get to it at the 35 energy or 40, whatever it was before. And having that fast move to get to was a little bit better than having a quote-unquote higher damage, higher energy type move. Ariados, that is definitely one of the ones I want to try out. They definitely know we're going for the Ice Punch here, so a little bit weird. I guess we're just trying to do a little bit of damage going into the Gastrodon, considering that it is going to take neutral damage from these Hydro Cannons. But 2 is probably going to be enough. And yeah, we're going to have to shield and farm this down. We're going to have a move going into the Ariados, though, and it is going to be double resisted by our ground typing, considering it does have Poison Sting. Again, Ariados definitely buffed by the Poison Sting buff. Going to be, again, one of those mon I really want to try out myself, but there are just so many. I just don't think I can get all to it in this first, I think, 2 weeks of Great League. So we'll try to get as many as we can in, but there's so many mon I want to try out here, and I know I told you on the last video, if you're keeping up with the videos, I was going to look for someone to trade at work for a Oranguru, but there was so much work today, I didn't even have time for lunch or anything, so I never left my desk, basically, and, wow, Acid Spray here on the Clodsire, so I did not get to talk to anyone for a trade. I'll send in the work channels tomorrow, because we have a Pokemon Go channel at work in Slack, and I'll send in a chat tomorrow and see if anyone's willing to do it maybe later this week. I know that tomorrow I'm probably going to be super busy as well, but I think on Friday I should have some time for hopefully to trade someone at lunch or something like that. So we'll see. All right, Marowak into Primarina. Now it does have Charm, which is actually really good. If it had something like Waterfall, we'd be in big trouble. They did get buffed. We just had a community day less than a week ago for Primarina to get Hydro Cannon. Now they ended up taking us out, but now we get to see their last mon. It is Pangoro, and we're just going to shield and farm this all the way down. Pangoro, another mon I definitely want to try out. Looks freaking sweet. Is a, sad to say, better version. I'll say better version than Scrafty right now, but it's not technically better. It is a side grade, but I do think it is a slightly higher side grade. So All right. They do come in with Mandibuzz. Unfortunately, we're only going to be able to hit this with our Body Slam, and with Body Slam being nerfed, we're really not going to do a lot of damage to this Mandibuzz. Now, it is going to have to use a lot of energy to get through this, and the switch timer now being a 50-second shot clock is going to be ending sooner. They did stand for a little bit and throw a move. I don't know if we're going to try to use that switch clock to our advantage or just play out this whole matchup ourselves here. It looks like we'll probably end up using it going through this matchup fully in the zero shield scenarios. Oh no, we are switching. I don't know if we should switch though, because their timer is going to be up based on what we've done here. I guess we're finding out. Probably can't afford to shield. Maybe we're going to go all in on Marowak at the end. But it's looking... Okay, we got to move off before they got to switch. So it would look pretty scary if they could have swapped at that point. Now they'll probably shield and switch. No, they're just staying in here. This is, I think, really weird by the Mandibuzz. Even if they switch now, they might be fine. But they're just... Clodsire is just so bad against our team here. So going to be able to take this out. Okay, just let it go. Come in Marowak and then farm this all the way down. They don't get to another move, and you'll have a lot of energy to maybe even get to this rock side for the Mandibuzz. They end up coming in with Clefable. Clefable is, I mentioned this in the last video, but in case you didn't see it, is going to be, I think, the best pure fairy user. I'm like, what do I want to say here? Because I do think Azumarill is the best fairy mon, but Clefable is the best pure Fairymon, I believe, in Great League. So it just has access to such diverse moves with Meteor Mash, Psychic, and Moonblast. Now, most of the time, people are running Meteor Mash and Moonblast. But you can go for that additional coverage of Psychic, even though Psychic was nerfed 2 times in the last 3 seasons. So, yeah, if you want to have that extra something to hit Clodsire with for super effective, you could do that. But I think most people, again, run Meteor Mash and Moonblast. So Dunsparce here, probably we live a Drill Run. Drill Run, definitely the move you want to be going for. Don't go for a Rock move against a ground typing. It is resisted. We do go for the CMP here. Obviously, apparently winning CMP. I do think Marowak has a much higher attack stat than Dunsparce. Dunsparce is an XL, I believe, so that just makes you know that it has a very low attack stat, very high defense, high stamina to get to level 50 and stay under 1500. Actually, I don't think it's level 50 mon, but to get an XL mon and stay under 1500. Can go for the Ice Punch here, even though it is resisted. It is Shadow for Alligator at the end of the day, and it is going to be pretty frail. Does get KO'd. They don't get too much farm. In fact, we end up taking out the Dunsparce. Ends up being a Clodsire in the back, and that's just GG. Yeah. Saving the switch timer here, or taking the full switch timer, so maybe you're going to try to catch here on the Marowak at some point. But you live in Earthquake is the problem. You resist a Stone Edge. They'd have to throw another Earthquake to even be close. We're definitely going to get to double Earth Power here with the shield, and that's going to be GG. Maybe we even go for a catch just because. I was saying just because we were going to make it anyways, but sometimes you got to flex. And yeah, flex there. Although you saw he was clicking the move and clicking the switch. He didn't know if he was going to make it there or not, it seemed like. So, nice. All right, Umbreon in the front. So, you probably want to be in here with Gastrodon, if I'm being honest. Does go for the good timing. Again, with a 2-turn move into a 3-turn move, you want to throw on 1, 4, 7 timing. And that's just adding 3 each time. 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, whatever. Probably not going to get to 13. That's an insane number. Someone's going to throw before then. But sometimes you do get to 10. Coming with Marowak here is interesting because it is pretty frail. Definitely not in much... I was going to say Mud Bomb. In Bone Club range. They come in with a Clodsire. Now, they probably can make it to an Earthquake. No, they definitely can't. Okay, Bone Club just way better than I thought. Again, it is buffed this season, so that's nice. Going to be able to eat through this Clodsire. Okay, if Gligar is weird in this meta, Wing Attack was nerfed. Aerial Ace, not very good in general. Dig is better since it got buffed, I think, 2 seasons ago. But without Wing Attack energy, Gligar just isn't the same thing it used to be. But I would have definitely come in Gligar against maybe they just clicked wrong. I think that's probably what happened, because Gligar is actually going to be good against Marowak. Yeah, we do double super effective fast attacks here, so probably just going to double shield and try to plow through this. Switch timer is probably coming up here soon. Going to have to be wary of that. They actually do hit us with the combo play here. Maybe we can farm this down and it's in Body Slam range for the Gligar. I don't think it has a move. Considering it just threw 2 or 3 moves into us. Yeah, it's just going to throw the Body Slam, and that's GG. Even though Body Slam nerfed, Shadow is going to we're going to deal 20% more to Shadows, so going to be good there. They end up catching here on Cresselia, so they get a lot of energy there onto the Dunsparce before they end up switching. Really good switch by the opponent. They didn't want to get stuck. Honestly, if we're able to throw into them while the timer's still going in the 50-second shot clock era, it's going to be really tough for them to maintain the alignment, because they're going to be 25 seconds behind, basically, which is half the timer at this point, because the timer is going to be up right after this. We could actually end up switching, but it would be pretty reckless, I think. Marowak just beat that Cresselia. Interesting. Marowak is so freaking good. That is actually wild. Gonna come in with a Gastrodon. Definitely can eat a lot of these moves. The best thing that it can throw against you is Drill Run, which, again, no stab on this, so gonna be able to take a lot of these moves. I think it looks like it looks to me like 4 would KO, although it would be pretty close. Again, Dunsparce was buffed because Rollout, which is its fast attack, was buffed in this patch, so in this season. Gonna have to shield these Drill Runs. Obviously, it's gonna be super effective against the Sandslash here. Wanting to really go for a farm down here, but decides against it. They're gonna be able to get to a move, so they end up shielding, and then they leave. Nice. All right, Wigglytuff here in the lead. Very good matchup here for the Sandslash. Gonna be able to throw this Ice Punch into the Gastrodon, which is neutral. Probably end up coming in with our own Gastrodon, if I was to guess. Interesting, because if this has Water Pulse, that's scary. Okay, he's going to respect it and then go for the farm down. Does end up throwing Body Slam. Most likely, if you're throwing Body Slam, you're going to have Earth Power with it. Well, that's not true. That's not true. It could be actually Water Pulse as well. Just to have the 3 coverages versus 2 coverages and a huge move in one of those coverages in Earth Power. All right, we do get the shield here from Wigglytuff, which is interesting. Wigglytuff, again, everything's resisted from Wigglytuff onto our Alolan Sandslash, having that steel typing, although we are very frail, being an attack-weighted mon that is also Shadow. Icy Wind is double resisted. Swift is resisted as well. I keep forgetting that now they're probably all using Swift and Icy Wind instead of Disarming Voice and Icy Wind, right? We're going to switch right away. Ends up being Clodsire. If you guys are seeing Clodsire, I know this, I said this already, but if you're seeing Clodsire, this is definitely the way to go. Just beating up on the Clodsires. Don't care about the Earthquake. Gonna be able to get the double Earth Power. They leave. It's over. GG. All right. Ooh, Shadow Skarmory. Now, you're not going to be seeing too much of this because Steel Wing was nerfed. And I do think Steel Wing is not going to be very good anymore. It's not going to be good enough for, like, S tier meta, even A tier probably. Maybe it's fine for B tier, just if you're wanting the coverage. Ends up having a Malamar here. You see that Psywave coming through. Psywave, one of the coolest animations I feel like in the game. Ends up getting the shield. You can eat a lot of damage here on the Gastrodon, but look at this thing just like cut through Gastrodon. Now you're cutting through it too because it is frail at the end of the day, but yeah, Earth Power definitely going to KO from here. Body Slam probably not going to be enough, especially after the nerfs. What do you do here? Do you just let it go? Oh, they let us get to the Body Slam because they weren't ready for the count, considering they knew that we went all the way up to Earth Power. Maybe they thought we were having Earth Power, and you could actually shield and get that farm down, but probably not worth it. You probably let this go, no? I don't know. I would let it go. Yeah, have a shield with Marowak. You're up a shield against both things in the back. You already know what's in the front, so let's see what's in the back. Goodra. Goodra's good. Goodra is good. Nothing nerfs on Goodra, right? So actually probably going to see a lot of Goodra this season. Probably going to end up just shielding and farming this all the way down. Okay, farm this all the way down and then throw a Bone Club into the Goodra shield. Well, it is pretty bulky. Ooh, Machamp. Definitely not one you want to see. Yeah, Goodra is pretty bulky, so yeah, probably you would have won CMP. Not too sure on that one for CMP, but they end up having a Dunsparce. It's okay. I mean, wait, this is where we want to see it, right? Bone Club going to do a lot of damage to it. In fact, the next Bone Club really threatening it. We're not really threatened by the Drill Run. Also, we resist the rollout, so they can never farm us down if it had done a lot more damage. We do win CMP against Dunsparce. We saw that a few battles ago. So using that to our advantage there, we do end up winning. Now we have Machamp in a spot where we like it the most. Probably going to end up getting the shield here. Can they Karate Chop us all the way down? It looks like yes. Going to come in with Gastrodon. Probably can just take this first move. Probably running Cross Chop and Rock Slide if I was to get, or Stone Edge, I guess, if they have an Elite TM. Licky with Rollout. Definitely a mon you're going to see a lot of in this meta. It is definitely replacing Lickitung. Rollout's just so good now with the buff, and it just so happens to have Rollout, and it also has Shadow Ball. Even though the Body Slam is, again, nerfed, has access to Shadow Ball, which is one of the best moves per energy in the game. And yeah, that's going to give it enough to really see some play here. Shadow Ball probably not going to end up KOing. It is a very bulky mon at the end of the day. Also looks cool. And if you guys know my old videos, I was using Licky rather, so long ago, before I had Lickitung made, which I probably had it made 5 seasons after it was released because I didn't have XLs. Alright, nowadays we have events, so, ooh, Shadow freaking, wait, is it a Zimroll in the front? This is probably a double Ghost team. This looks like the Though Tactical team. So Alolan Marowak in the back, maybe Shadow Alolan Marowak, maybe regular Alolan Marowak. Anyways, Sableye, Shadow Sableye is one I want to try so bad. Power Gem was buffed, so now Power Gem actually hits like a truck. I believe it has the same stats that Dig had for Gligar, so gonna be worth playing. It is frail, but it always was a good safe swap during the Metacham era, and back then Noctowl was a thing. So yeah, and you can have a regular Sableye with Power Gem as well, maybe even a purified Sableye, make them think you're running Return but you're actually running the Power Gem. Not too sure how you want to play it. I guess it depends how many XLs you have, how many of these Sableyes you're going to make. I personally have a Purified Sableye and a Shadow Sableye, so I'm going to bust out the Shadow Sableye. I want to keep Return on the regular one, or on the Purified one, just to have that extra coverage. Ends up being the Marowak in the back like we thought. The only thing here is Shadow Bone does do a lot of damage, and we kind of have to go for the Earth Power here. Cannot go for the Body Slam. Going to have to watch out for a catch. It looks like we won CMP there. I don't know if I believe that or not, but it did look like we ended up going for the catch here. We didn't actually catch, but they ended up throwing, which means we're probably going to be able to make it to the Earth Power now. Ooh. Connection error. That didn't matter that much. They were already throwing the Ice Beam. They got the double Ice Beam, and that's going to be GG. First loss of actually only loss in the video, FYI. Golurk, oh my gosh, Golurk is so interesting. It's basically RPS against Clodsire, and really bad, I feel like, against everything else. It does hit like a truck. It does have Mud Slap, so it was buffed, but this thing is beyond frail. We end up getting to the Bone Club here against the Feraligatr. Now, Feraligatr actually going to be really good against our whole team, something to really note, but yeah, it's going to be taking a lot of damage, so if you want to expend shields, you can definitely Mud Slap through it. I wonder how many times I've said mud shot. I'm sorry, guys. Just gonna have to get used to it. Beginning of the season, I need to get used to it, is what I mean, and I will eventually get there. As all of us will, hopefully. Alright, Clodsire, GG. Although, they could end up going for like a weird bait, but we still have the full Sandslash. Honestly, you could just let this... Oh, we CMP so bad. I was like, we could just let it go. But, yeah, we probably do let it... it doesn't really matter. We could shield and farm down, or we could let it go and farm down. It's GG either way. Farm this down, farm that down. GG. Easy. Oh, wow, we got to the end of the video. That was a long one, guys. I know that was a long one for everyone, but what can I say? Holesome did amazing with this team, and I wanted to showcase as many battles as I could. We saw a lot of things here in Open Great League. I know things, again, at the beginning of the season, your first battles, and even I feel like today, tomorrow, and maybe the day after, you're going to see some random Pokemon sometimes. Just because we're at the beginning of the season, and then the meta will solidify. Again, I believe we have a 2-week period here of Open Great League, and when that meta solidifies, we will really see what is the top of the top. But while I'm here, I'm trying to show you what I hope is the top of the meta, and at the very least, some of the things that are changed for the most part with the new season buffs and nerfs. So again, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video, and if you want to continue to support me, definitely click that subscribe button. You'll see any content coming out, and if you want another video on this same league for some more tips and tricks to other teams, check that video out right there, and I'll see you in the next one.